From the minds of motivation, sending positive vibration. Star supporters, true soldiers, earth fighters. Deep down in my spirit, unite. What's up, guys? It's your boy Break the News Decoder, and we're back in the video. You know it now. As you can see right here, I'm going to be talking about behaviorism and how it is utilized in society to keep you as a sheep and a slave to the 9-to-5 working system. And this is the psych book. I will be explaining how it all works. Now, I advise everybody to get them a psychology book, because you're going to then learn how these operations are being utilized to keep us in a training position. Now, let's get into it. So, the psych book, right, is all about psychology. You have different types of psychology. Let's get through a couple steps of psychology real quick, and let's explain a little bit something. Now, let me get to the table of context, and we'll get with it. So, you have all forms of psychology. You have cultural psychology. You got clinical psychology. You got athletic psychology. You got industrial psychology. You got different forms of psychology. You even got biology psychology. So, you got all forms of psychology that's been utilized. Now, we're going to be tapping into the minds of a Professor X. Once we read this whole book, we will be on Professor X level. So, let's talk about behaviorism and how it is utilized in society to keep you in a repetitive motion of a 9-to-5 work job. Now, what is behaviorism? Behaviorism defines the study of observable behavior. It is the study of relations, the relationship between stimuli and responses. Now, if you know what stimuli is what you are stimulated with, what your brain is stimulated to neurologically. Okay, so hold on. What your brain is stimulated to neurologically. Now, what is behaviorism? Let's read through the book. Behaviorism is the school of psychology that focuses on learning observable behavior. The term observable includes behaviors that are observable by means of instruments such as the heart rate, blood pressure, brain waves. These behaviors are public in that they can be measured easily and multiplied. Observers will agree about their existence and features. Given their focus on behavior, behaviorists define psychology as a scientific study of behavior, not of behavior and mental processes. Now, B.F. Skinner states that behaviorism, he believed that the organism learned to behave in certain ways because they have been reinforced for doing so. That is, their behavior has a positive outcome. He demonstrated that laboratory animals can be trained to carry out behaviors through strategic use of reinforcers, such as foods. He trained rats to turn in circles, climb ladders, and push toys across the floor because Skinner showed that he could teach animals remarkable combinations of behavior by means of reinforcements. Many psychologists adopted a view that in principle could explain complex human behavior in terms of thousands of instances of learning through reinforcement.
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
My bad, bro.
My bad, y'all. Sister came in. So, like I said, I put the book down. Behaviorism, as we went over, is the study of your behavior, how you behave. Now, as you clearly can see, the skinny B man, he said basically that behaviorism is utilized to reinforcement of positive outcomes. Now, what is reinforcement of a positive outcome? Reinforcement of a positive outcome would be something like, okay, a mouse, let's say you put a mouse in an experiment, and the mouse runs in a maze, and the mouse always, when the cheese is on the left side of the wall, the mouse eats the cheese on the left side of the wall, and he turns the corner and then go up a treadmill. Okay, let's use that. Now, that mouse, when he sees that cheese, he's gonna become alerted consciously, right? Oh, that cheese right there. He's going to keep eating that cheese on the left side of the wall and keep doing the same thing going in the trailer. Now, what's happening is the mouse is now developing a subconscious repetitive pattern that's being reinforced through the experiment. And when it's being reinforced through the experiment or the operation that's going on, we are now learning that the mouse is developing a control, a knack for a certain element, which is cheese. And not only is developing that knack for it, it's learning, it's behaving, it's knowing when to go, and it's nowhere to go. It's predictable. Now you can predict the movement of that mouse based upon the behavior that it's portraying through subconscious programming. Now this is what you call what I like to call behavioralistic reinforcement. Behavioralistic reinforcement is when you are reinforced into the same position, and you are constantly attaching yourself to the same rewarding system that you are working to get. Now, how do we explain this on a human level? On a human level, you can explain behaviorism reinforcement through what? Through working 9 to 5s. Now, you working 9 to 5, you know that what's your main motive? Your main motive is to make money. So by you making money, you are going to clock in on time, get to work on time. You're going to make sure you are the best your best mentally, and you are prepared to work to make your money. Now, when you make your money on a Tuesday or Wednesday or where the fuck you make your money and where the checks drop at, you understand you're going to receive a reward system, and that reward system is that money. And once you become consciously aware that you're going to receive the reward, you keep doing it over and over again. And that's what you call reinforced behaviorism, when you are being reinforced in the same position to make the same type of reward system. Now, how can we relate it to social media? Social media is the same way. When you hop on Instagram, when you hop on Facebook, Twitter, any social media platform, what do you receive after you keep scrolling down the streets? What do you receive when you go viral? You receive what you call dopamine. Dopamine is a form of energy that you receive as a reward system, an excitement reward system, a sensational reward system that you receive through going viral or becoming known, right? Becoming famous. That's a form of awareness. But we're not going to get into that type of awareness. That's a different story. Now, notice how I use the psychological reinforcement, the behavioralism reinforcement idea to put you in the understanding of what is taking place. Now, we know what's taking place. Now, how do the system keep everybody working and serving the economy at free will? They use what you call behaviorism. They use what you call working environments. All of these different forms of facilities are there to facilitate a certain behavior pattern, so you can always be repetitive within the economy, and you can always help the capitalistic society profit off of your energy, right? That's all currency is. It's energy, or a current, or flow of energy. Now, once we all understand that, how can we understand what's being played upon? Now, we know that school is the same way. Okay? Everything is psychology, right? Now, behavioralistic reinforcement is also used in schooling, universities, colleges, your elementaries. All that is used. I can give an example. When you go to school, right, you have to get a good grade. When you're in elementary, what do they call it? Code of conduct. What is code of conduct? It is how you conduct yourself in a civilized classroom or society. That is what you call code of conduct. And why would you have to be a part of code of conduct? Because code of conduct is how you can conduct your behavior due to the classroom settings, or the teacher, or whoever the administration is, how type of setting they're under. Now, let's understand this. When you're in school, right, you have to get A's and B's, because that is the standard for your reward system. If you get anything lower, like an F, a D, or anything lower in that bracket, you then fall under the reward system, which leaves you in fear, anxiety, and all these other emotions that you accumulate due to the fact that you are trying to reach the status quo, or you're trying to reach your reward system. So you won't be left out of this class system, or what do you want to call it? You won't be left out of the loop, right? And what is that is? That is another form of behavioralistic reinforcement, when they are reinforcing you into a certain position where you have to meet a reward system. Now, in classes, it's more competitive. Now, this is why they fail you. They fail you because it's a part of behavioralistic reinforcement. They know that if the subject or the student doesn't pass the classes, they can't evolve, or they can't rank up and go to the next grade. Grades are just forms of phase 1, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 due to your consciousness. And when you constantly fail over and over again, you're not understanding what they're trying to do, which is the psychological reinforcement or the behavioralistic reinforcement. They're trying to reinforce you into a classroom setting, and they're trying to get you to establish your subconscious programming. Once you tap into your subconscious programming and you finally reach the reward system, you can move to higher heights, right? You can move to another higher reward system. But if you keep failing this reward system, you keep repeating the same cycle over and over again, and then you're going to expect a different result. And this is where insanity, this is where we get our ideal of insanity. Insanity is the ideal of repeating the same issue over and over again, expecting a different result. This is why they say history repeats itself, because history is being reinforced through behavioralistic concept, the behaviorism concept, or the behavioralistic concept. So everything is being reinforced. This is why everything keeps repeating itself. Now, it's purposely repeating itself. That's what you have to be consciously aware of. When your subconscious is your feelings, your vibration, your sensations, your perception, and what you feel and what you see, right? That is your subconscious. And if you're not aware of that, then you are being manipulated at the time being. So this being said, y'all, this has been a mini explanation or mini teaching of behaviorism. What I like to call reinforced behaviorism or reinforced behavioralistic ideology, right? It's all about training your mind to become a part of a router, become a rerouter of this system. It's all about training your mind to become a robot towards the test at hand. This is why they call your classes, or they call your genres in class subjects. Subjects are personal things. Subject matter, or what is a subjective thing to you, would be something that's personal to you. So you have a lot of personal learning subjects that you utilize, and you have personal subjects that you aim towards reaching certain reward systems. And you must understand this goes deeper than just what you're told. Everything has a psychology to it. And I'm going to get more into breaking down a lot of these methods so y'all can understand how the world is really ran. With that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. I love y'all. Peace, peace, peace. And live again, and peace, peace, and peace. Love y'all.